Okay. Das nächste Update ist Fantastic Four. Muss man denken. Oh, ach da. So. Okay. So, Baby do Shadowland, Curse of Cosmic Core. Badge. Warum? Ich verstehe es echt nicht, wieso. So. Ja. Was? Okay. How's Ironheart looking? Yeah. Okay. Uh-uh. Okay. Hm. Dominando Netherlands. The word battle. Team battle arena. Ja. Okay. Warm, Alter. Ich meine, es wird sowieso auch kälter, von daher passt das, aber jetzt gerade. Boah. Okay. Aua. Wie bitte? Das könnte klappen, aber hm. Als nächstes Nahe, da werden wir verlieren auf jeden Fall. Das Matchup. Hm. Okay. Ich sehe das Spiel mit der Bitrate gerade, ne? Mal trinken? So. Ist was drin, okay. Es war ein weiterer. Ich muss mal auf Disney gehen, ob der Thunderbolts jetzt schon auf Disney Plus, auf Disney Plus ist. Ironheart ist mir egal. Ich bin zu Ende geguckt. Das ist echt. Mal kurz nachschauen. Und wieder Ironheart müsste ich noch. Wittchen habe ich keine Lust. Captain America habe ich schon geguckt. Was sind denn Thunderbolts auf Disney? Google das mal ganz kurz. Thunderbolt. Habt ihr es schon da anzeigen vielleicht? Was ist da mit Sternchen? Kinotrailer. 2025 in die Kinos. Super. dachte, die sagen jetzt schon so, ja, dann ist Thunderboy auf Disney. Nö, natürlich nicht. Wäre jetzt zu einfach. Länger zu einfach. Weiß. Da. Haben wir? Ne, habe ich auch schon. Probiert. Unlucky. Underworld Battle. Wir sind mit Absicht niedrig, damit wir die Season-Belohnung holen können. Mit Speed-Hype und so, damit wir einfach hier die Mementos bekommen. Wie gesagt, wir werden das nach und nach machen. Muss ich Sentinel im Team haben. So, E-Mail, Willen. Okay. Hätten wir wieder. No. So, das dürfte ja, ne? Ja. Okay. Und der World Boss. Okay. Warte mal, ich mal kurz. Hm, ich muss nachschauen. Okay. Okay. Ja, Dr. Strange is stealing the job. Let's swap the character. Nee. Nee. I mean, it's fine, but man spielt auf 29 wegen Leadership. Let me check something 1 second. Once again. German Miles. 1K. Danach habe ich Female. So ist halt, ich habe halt Female nur Luna Snow, ne? Ich meine, ich könnte Healer machen auch noch, ne? So, ich bin dabei bin ich im Team. Ist ja dumm. Dann frage ich jetzt mal nicht. Okay. Ich habe echt Better Way Bill vergessen. Das ist schon ein bisschen ärgerlich. Sollte ich vielleicht nochmal schnell einloggen in Fantasy Life, bevor neuer Tag ist. Wegen den Blumen. Aber ich kann nämlich hier so machen. Nicht vielleicht. Hier. Entry Energy Attack. Ja, gut, dann nehmen wir Sentry noch rein. zu spät. Bei Quark war es zu spät. Ja. Okay. Hab nicht getroffen. Okay. Bin nicht getroffen. Bin jetzt nicht. Ja. Geschafft ist geschafft, ne? Ich kann mir vorstellen, dass Sentry oder PvE was ausrichten könnte. Wenn ich so sehe. Aber ich will ihn halt nicht aufgeben für PvP, ne? Habe ich schon, ja, einen Tag noch. Ich meine, wir können ja noch Reborn nachher mit Kristall, das ist das ganz Gute. Bunny Blue, hey. Combat Type, Female Universal, ja. It's fine. Yeah, fine. We can do that. Yeah, I was at my grandpa cause a family member died. On Wednesday. So I stayed there until today. So yeah. I did like my dailies like evening before sleep. Like at 8 p.m. On the day I was like with my grandpa. Bloody embargo. We don't have anyone else support-wise, right? I mean, we have embargo. But embargo is greater than task right now. Yeah. Patch. Was bist du? Jetzt spielt halt dort schon. Actually, then halt faster. There we go. Yeah, now. No, not he. A family member. My grandma. On Wednesday. I was with my grandpa. Thanks. So, yeah. Wait, I can't cancel. Paralyzed season? It is hard, yeah. It's silent season. I want to go to Japan once, but yeah. No understanding of the language and so on. I don't know if Venom will clear this for high score wise. I don't think so that he will outscore Lady, but otherwise I need to cancel with Belk, which is not bad. Yeah, I need to cancel with Belk. I guess at least. Let's just try the one and then we see. I would buy video games, Japanese ones. Like, definitely PlayStation ones. Because I know they are region free, so... Nintendo is like, it depends if you crack your console or not, basically. That's nice. That's nice. But don't you need to do like a lot of preparing of stuff? Like getting a visa and so on? 1 second. I need to test something. 13. Around 14 million third. Wow. Wow. Silence is skin hardening. 14 million by the third. Wow. There are two options. Either we take Ghost Rider and cancel with Velk, or we take a different striker. Shang-Chi? Shang-Chi? If a mighty was needed. One sec. Don't stop. Guess in the long run, Gladiator will outperform Hulk, Venom. Even though you need to swap for the cancelling. The damage output that Gladiator gives you is like... I guess it was like this, right? Yeah. Then you do this. So. I don't know if this is the one or not. I'm not sure at all. I mean, I know at around the third war we were at 14k. That's the goal to beat. Which we don't beat right now. I mean, it's like 20 seconds of lost damage, so yeah, it's like a 500,000 less. So we need the striker. Did I need a Shang-Chi? Let me check 1 second. Need him. I do need him either way, not just cause of Chang. Silence, silence, silence. There's Gambit. Here, silence. Perfect. How might they use him? There we go. Yeah, 1 second. I might use Gambit instead of Psylocke, if I'm right. I'm pretty sure about that. Unless I'm wrong right now, but I'm pretty sure Gambit is the way. instead of Psylocke. I messed up the cancel. Fuck off. I messed the cancel. I forgot. The wind up. The charge up. Mm. Yes, we need to play it a bit different. Yeah. Now we need to keep our tier 4 skill. Yeah, now we need to keep it. Okay, the cancel is easy, that's fine. But I'm pretty sure the cancel, if you don't cancel, is that the skin hardens, which will in the end give you less score. I'm not trying to get a perfect score. I just want to get a high score for the alliance. Oh, we didn't cancel it, fuck. That is totally fine. I mean, if needed, we're gonna play Venom, so that's not a problem. Even though we are score-wise like way better set up right now. Can I risk a tier 4 skill? I guess I can, yeah. Yeah, I can risk one tier 4 skill. But not more. Just one. Yeah. This is a better score. There we go. So swapping is like losing score. Did he really just not cancel? Oh, that's such a score decrease. That's such a score decrease. I don't know why he didn't cancel. Hey, what I did different. I don't know. It threw the... But yeah, what I did different. What did I have made wrong? No idea what I did wrong. Let's try again. We do it like before. Cancel. That's a cancel. Or did we maybe cancel too early? That it didn't override it. That could be maybe. But the canceling was happening too early. Could be. But we committed too early into cancel. Maybe we could have done a tier 4 skill here. Oh no, we didn't, okay. This 4. There we go, there's cancel. Weird, I don't know. I mean, life seed is like only for skills needed, which is like a definite number in the case of life seed. On the other hand, like Souls of the 13 is like a random number that you need. Because it's up to chance, like how many tries you will need in the end. Okay, let's try it again. There we go, there's the cancel. We did it. That's the one we're gonna commit. That's the one I'm gonna commit to. I mean, the Venom wasn't bad, but he did score like a bit less. There we go, that's fine. Yeah, but I mean, it depends what you buy as well. I, for example, always buy the Carbonadium, the souls. Because, for example, well, a team, yeah, there it is. I am ready if you want to open. I mean, I could maybe. Okay. Okay. Meanwhile, I was like, I have only like 1 day left. You know what? Let's just reroll it. I was like, and then Conquest 75 crystals. But it was luck. I'm gonna wait for tomorrow and then let's see what I will get tomorrow. Reward wise. And then I can like reroll if needed. I mean, I still need to play Shadowland. Cosmic Core and Shadowland. Perfect. Yeah. I got in Mystic Mayhem, I got Captain America. In like my second war. Or first or second war, I got Captain America. I was like, okay. And I must say, Captain America is a manual play character, not autoplay. What I'm missing is like a taunt right now. Terraria, oh. I'm still working on Fantasy Life. Then I need to go like backlog some games that I started. Let me check Mystic Mayhem 1 second. Or does Cap maybe has a taunt on a different like passive voice? Maybe I need to pull him often. 1 second. HP. Nope. Talent. Captain America has no taunt. It's like annoying, you know? Captain America is a tank. I would do it on the PS3 version. If, like, you know, Captain America is a tank, but he doesn't have a taunt. He can swap between like dealer and tank wise and so on. But I wait to have like Juggernaut that has a passive later on. Once you get to level 61, the character, he does taunt. Like I would wait to take like Juggernaut or like Armor that can taunt instead of a tank that doesn't taunt. Put them together with a healer like Emma Frost. There you go. Basically, in my opinion at least. It's like my opinion right now. Okay, I don't know if Sentry actually taunts. 1 second. I know he gets a shield and so on as well, but does he taunt? Sentry also doesn't taunt. Oh, look at that. But his passive is good. I mean, if I get a Shang-Chi thingy, it's great. Basically, I want to level up armor, I guess. I don't want to, but I need to. How do I get... How can I increase stars? Like no joke, how do I increase the stars? Sadly, I didn't got Skull's Witch. How do you mean evil? I can show you like... Let me go to 2 trophies, 1 second. 2 trophies. I'm working still on I mean, I have 2 games I'm working currently on. Or like 3 games. Yeah, 3 games. And there we go. Like the 3 games I'm working on is this one, Fantasy Life, Monster Hunter. Okay, there's also Fantasy Life, but that's the PS4 version. And Midnight Suns is planned. Disaster Band is on the work. Frontier, I'm still playing on the Vita, on the custom server. Oh, PLAT Overclocked is also a nice game. Death Note I still need to do. But right now I'm working on this game. Final Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time. I miss like the butterfly request, which is like super easy. Because I need to like log in for 25 days after I unlocked all weird links. I get a butterfly, and after this 25 days later, I get this character unlocked. And then I get this trophy. I don't know how I get this one. This one is on work right now. Phantom character is also like the same. Those two like work together. This one is also like on the way. And this one, I don't know right now. Then I need to check what this means. It's a bit confusing. Then we have, yeah, I'm a premium member already. Monster Wise, obviously. Base game. We have like all low rank quest. 50 rampage quest. Yeah, the quest. Obviously, those are like work on other ones, so those don't count right now. Hunting helper is on the work. Old messages, I will do them later. Fishing, do it later. 30 grids done later. Photography is nearly done. I just need this one. I just need 1 photo, if I'm right. And this one I need like 2 or 3, which are random in the spawning, so. But because I need to hunt monsters, it's fine. Expedition 5 monsters is also like fairly easy. Arena quest is doing all once. It's like 9 or so I need to max out. Then is this the final quest in the base game? Oh, you're back right now, okay. I'm gonna get something to drink shortly, 1 second. Get something to drink. So, I'm back. And I guess you didn't hear what I was talking about with the trophies right now. I guess, I don't know. Oh, damn. You like. Fantasy Life I is nearly finished. Like, we have only like a few left. This one is nearly done. It's maybe like two a day, maybe 10 days, if not less. I otherwise just change the clock time on the PlayStation if needed. I don't know how this one works, no idea. This one is on the work right now, though this goes hand in hand with this basically. This one technically as well. I don't know what this is. I need to check this one. And this game is done, trophy wise. Then we get the dreamlike fantasy like life done. Monster Hunter also on a good way. A lot of hours, but on a good way. Our low end quest, 50 rampage quest, quest in the areas which don't really matter right now, cause I'm playing the DLC right now, so I get like those quests, 50 each area at some point. Hunting helper collection, I will get them with time. Old messages, we'll do them later. It's just collecting. Fishing. If I'm right, I'm nearly finished with fishing. We'll do it later, like the easy one. Well done, Grillmeister. We'll do later. I don't know how far I'm missing here. This one is nearly done. It seems I miss a few skills. I don't know which one I miss, but I miss like skills. Holy high rank. This one goes with the normal one with getting all quests done. Obviously. Here I have arena quest, it's easy. This one is easy, which is like on the side kinda. Having like all your channel our quests done. Our hiring quest. This one is also like after getting like the collectibles and so on, which is like the earlier trophies, so easy. And the crown sizes, which are easy because the DLC did brought us a lot. Is the one I have? Five. 1 second. This should be the one. Yeah. Like you see here, I have a lot of the gold crowns already. And a lot of them are like guaranteed. So this is like no problem. The gold crowns later on, which I will do like later on. The only ones annoying is like the apex monsters, the small versions. That's fine. If I'm right, they have a 6% chance each, so that's not a problem. It's high rank. That's fine. Yeah, then we go DLC wise. All master rank quest. The new arena quest. Anomaly quest is like 50. Done. Jungle. Citadel. Getting all requests done, which is like on work right now. Right, messages, obviously. Switch skill, side quest. Same side quest stuff. Yeah, side quest as well. Maxing out characters, easy. If I just need to like swap. That one I don't know right now. Large monster master rank obviously goes in hand with the base game. If I need to get level 50 or so here. Yeah, 1k large monster and master rank, easy. Afflicted monster, look at this, even the afflicted I need to do 100, so this adds up. All side quest adds up. I don't know what this one is right now. Oops. I don't know how this one will work later on. Same with armor, like how many. The risen monsters, I'm working on them already, so no problem. Yeah, anomaly again. Mini crowns. And we have the large crowns. And then all the awards. It's fine. It's like fairly easy list-wise, in my opinion. Like I said, because we have so many guarantees here, so I see no problem. And then it's Midnight Suns, the PS4 stack, which Wise is like the second easiest. Midnight Suns PS4 version I'm working on, because I have the DLC as well, which is like do the story, get the light path, the dark path, yeah, and get the story done. Then the DLC is like nothing is missable. You just need like 2 runs of the game, and you're done. Technically, so no problem here. Later on. Like if I need to like what's the hardest and the easiest Monster Hunter to finish, the easiest is Wilds, then is probably Wise, after Wise is World, and then Frontier. Because Frontier was the MMO, which is only like via modding and so on possible to play because of fan server. And yeah. Base game 52 trophies, which is like mostly like hunter ranks and so on, how many monsters to hunt, as far as I know. Let me check Google Translate. Yeah. Okay, it's titled 200 titles, 200 large monsters, 1k large monster. Tough quest, which is like a different thing. Whatever mutant monsters are. Ada Dragon, okay. Zero Star Caravan quest. And Caravan 8, so I need to check those two. How to get these. Zero and this. Playtime exceeds 200 hours. It's an MMO. What do you expect? 2 million Z. Okay. More evaluation gallery competition in my gallery. Nadia versus Quest. right here. This one should be not that hard. Whatever way hunter is, no idea. Unlock 11 types of weapon, all types. Ah, this is G rank. I don't know. I don't know. It's probably G rank. Okay, police, yeah. I shops in my training. That's halt secret armor. Working on. This one is bugged. If I'm right, this one is bugged. Don't know. Don't know. Don't know how this one works. If a Hulk is. It could be. I have an idea what it is. It's a Hulk. A Hulk with A. Afro, okay. Ah, this is the Diva quest line. Dragon Pierce, okay. Bandit in the army, okay. Okay, it's hunting. Sky Corridor weapon, whatever. Hard work. Genoga. Participate in G rank. Wait. Defeated Konsole. They do wait. So it is not hard, but it will be a long time. I guess, but the problem is like Frontier is like way harder than Wilds, Wilds, and so on. So yeah, I have like a few things to do still. But I said it is fine. It's completely fine. I would like to use PlayStation profiles. I don't. The problem is like Frontier is like really hard. Frontier is like the hardest Monster Hunter you can have. Yeah, the hardest. I mean, sadly, I can't do PlayStation profiles because I'm banned there. But well, because I modded my Vita to play Frontier, I couldn't care less. So yeah, something. I mean, I can still check my trophies on other websites, so I don't care. I think Frontier will take some time. It will be like I said, it will be super hard because it's like pretty clunky control wise. It's like the old Monster Hunters, but it's fine. I guess Frontier is a game I'm gonna tackle offline because it's like that. It's a lot of grinding. Like Frontier is like a grind you don't wanna have. if I could play with others, I would. I mean, I can play with others. But the problem is the people don't want to play with a low rank. And you can't just join the people, so I do play solo right now, Frontier. So the hunts take quite some time. Not to say like a lot, but quite some time. And I'm always waiting that there's an event that I can use the premium supports. Because with the premium supports, I can play with NPCs that are like fairly strong and can get me to the early of the G rank. So I can at least get some equipment. So yeah. And it's the final one, I guess. Let's see the rewards. Well, that's fine. I did watch, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, a video of the journey of someone completing Crypt of the Necrodancer, which is, as far as I know, like the hardest platinum trophy you can get. Besides some multiplayer where you need to get rank 1. But it's like, from what I know, like the hardest platinum trophy you can get, and someone did like a YouTube video of his journey. I was impressed about it. Like, yeah, this month it was like 150 hours, for example, and I just trained this character. Like, it was crazy. Maybe if I find the YouTube video, so I can run it like on the side, you know? If we make like a tiny window. 1 second. Script. There we go. Let's do it like this. Yeah. Then so we can keep it like, oh wow. We just keep it running here. So you can enjoy this bit of gameplay there. Or like listening to it, you know? But it's really interesting, in my opinion. With the sound of it. You know, I will unmute my game. Like, for me it was like, holy shit.
Alright, today we're going to be starting Crypt of the Necrodancer. Yup, that's me about to start the most difficult platinum trophy to obtain on.
I was thinking about it as well. I have it if I might on the PlayStation Vita, but I don't know frame-wise if it will work. Because of some characters.
PlayStation. I streamed this game from the start all the way until I finally obtained the 100%. This is a very skill-dependent game, and the game can actually be completed in 13 hours if you already have the skill, which if you are new to the game, you definitely won't. This game is so difficult because of two trophies, impossible right and lowest of the low. But before we get to those insane trophies, we have to start at the beginning. We start with the main character, Cadence, who got her heart stolen and is now cursed, being forced to move to the rhythm. I begin the game with the very first zone of the game. This zone introduces the first set of enemies, which are actually pretty easy to deal with, and it teaches people to learn the different movement patterns to the enemies. I wasn't in this zone for very long, as I eventually made it to the first boss, which was King Konga was the first boss this time, and this boss has a conga line which needs to be taken out if you want to damage King Konga. My first attempt was not the best, but I'll let you watch what transpired.
Yes, I couldn't, especially like with some characters that you need to do. I couldn't.
First zone cleared. You would finally get a first trophy for clearing the first zone. And that's the first zone completed. Great.
Dad was always coming and going on his adventures, but this time he seemed more excited.
I'm now on to Zone 2, which also has a trophy for clearing the zone. The game is divided into 4 different zones. Each zone has a total of 3 levels, with the final 4th level being one of the 4 bosses. This zone is slightly more difficult as it brings in some tricky enemies, like for example, the armadillo, which will roll until it hits a wall, or the mage, which pulls you closer. It didn't take long to get used to the enemies, and I made it to the boss.
Fine, or is it
This
too
time
loud
was
or like too silent?
Okay, Coral Rift. Coral Rift was my next boss.
So for
and the
me
fight
it's
was going
fine,
pretty
so...
well since I used a fireball spell to bring his hearts down to 1, but I got hit by its AoE attack. It didn't take me long.
I guess
before I was
picture
back on
size also is fine?
and the boss was
Or is it too small?
Deep Blues is a chess boss battle, so if you kill the king, you defeat the boss immediately. This is how the
I don't
fight
even know
works.
if I'm allowed to make it even any bigger. I don't know.
With Zone 2 cleared, I was now onto the 3rd zone of the
Like I
game.
said, for me this video was like super interesting to see like the journey
It makes it even more difficult, knowing the zone is more open. This is arguably the
Because I
worst
know
zone
I
in the
won't
game,
do
as
it.
you could be doing the final trophy in the game, and you could still be thrown into a level like this.
Especially if it goes this fast. Like, yeah, no.
A big reason why this game is so difficult is the randomness of the zones. You can get a very easy zone, and then you can get an extremely difficult zone. But it doesn't really matter at this stage of the game, since I'll be dying even on the easy zone spawns of this game due to the
And there are characters
It took me playing
in the
Zone
game
3 about double
where
the
you need
amount
to
of
play
time
like
playing
double the
Zone
speed.
2 till I eventually reached the boss room, which
And
was
for example, it's a character double speed, and if you don't hit the beat once, character is dead. Well, we just did 14.7 million. Just saying. 14.7. Oh, I did fight, yeah, I remember. Did he have a face? Oh. Lol. Nemesis? We're gonna face off Nemesis? Lol.
how did I survive that? Oh my goodness. That was
Okay.
Now that I had one last zone remaining in the base game, I went to unlock the cages in the zones with the
I'm
people
not sure
in them.
about that.
One of these people you free is actually really useful, as they allow you to train against the different bosses.
I'm not sure about
It
that,
was
I
during this
must
time
say.
when I was unlocking all the cages when I found a perfect opportunity
Because
to
my
get my next
PvP team
trophy
is
for
not
killing the
bad.
shopkeeper.
But this one.
The final zone of the game adds one last zone clear trophy. It also comes with a larger pool
While I
of
enter
enemies
like
that
this
caused me a
team,
bunch
I'm
of
like,
deaths
okay,
in this
I
zone,
take this
one of
team.
them being one of the final bosses. Yes, that's right, as Cadence you have to fight 2 final bosses. This last zone took a couple of hours of playing, and I was eventually given another chance at the final bosses. The first one being Dead Ringer is a pretty difficult boss if you don't already know what you're doing. But luckily, I watched some of the boss guides that
I'm
Florian
not sure
made,
if you're cooked.
and those helped me out a lot in the early game. The strategy I used involved luring the Dead Ringer into crashing into all 4 bells. They are all broken. A gong appeared, and I lured the Dead Ringer into crashing into it, which finishes the boss fight. That isn't the end though, as there's still one more boss I need to take care of. The Necrodancer is the main story boss, and this boss may look difficult since you have to control 2 characters at the same time, but if you know a certain strategy, it should be no problem. The strategy I'm talking about is the spawn limit strategy. You see, there's a limit to how many enemies can spawn in the boss room. So reaching that limit will prevent the Necrodancer from spawning mini-bosses, so I kept a bunch of skeletons alive. From there, all I had to do was activate the final phase of the fight and wait for the perfect opportunity to attack the Necrodancer. And once the Necrodancer was defeated, I got the final zone clear trophies. We did
Holy
it!
shit. I mean,
The
not
next set of
18.
trophies involved me clearing
I
the all
guess we
zones
won't win
mode with the
18,
different
but I
characters.
guess we
The
can go
first
to
one
the
being
finals.
Cadence. All zones means I have to beat all the zones
I
I
would
just
say we can
cleared
go to the
in a
finals.
single run. This may seem difficult if you barely manage to clear the 4 zones, but the upsides to this trophy is that you can bring
Let me
all your
check something
items
on
to the next
settings.
zone. So if you manage to get a good set of items, it'll
Okay,
make
then
the
it's
later
Synergy
zones a
or...
whole lot easier.
Yeah.
My first all zones
But I guess
cleared took a
Nemesis
bit
we
of
can do.
practice. I was on this trophy for about 2 days until I
is
was good enough
Timeless?
to make it back to the Necrodancer.
Timeless.
I used the same
Or Timeless
strategy I
plus
did
1 to 1.
last time, which was quite effective against the
Timeless is
Necrodancer.
our other
Once he was
alliance.
taken down, I finally got my very first all zones trophy.
Like, we have like Revolution and Timeless. Timeless being the main, and Revolution is like the second.
The next character on the list is Bard. Bard doesn't have to move to the beat, meaning it essentially turns the character into a turn-based character, since you can take
This
as long
character
as
is
you
for you,
need,
Bard.
or you can go as fast as you want. So it should be no surprise that I got the final boss in a short amount of time. Are you for real?
This Bard has no rhythm to do.
Well, even if we're unlucky, we still had it in the bag either way, because we had that scroll of fear.
I'm just doing Shadowland because of
Eli is a
the
character who
Cosmic Core.
relies only on bombs to take care of enemies. Bombs are powerful as they deal 4 hearts of damage to the enemy and deal 2 hearts of damage to you if you are caught in the blast. Eli took some trial and error as I blew myself up with bombs and didn't time my bombs correctly. On the upside, all the boss is going to be taken out pretty easily with Eli's bombs. While I was playing Eli, I got the trophy for having 10 hearts at the same time. With these powerful bombs, it didn't take very long for me to reach Core Rift 4.
Let's do this one. So,
The next character is Dove. Dove hates killing and uses a flower weapon to confuse enemies. Her main goal is to just reach the exits as soon as possible. He also skips all the bosses, so this character's runs tend to be a bit shorter. With that in mind, it took some time getting used to the flower weapon, as your most common problem will involve not getting trapped by the enemies. After getting the hang of the new weapon, I ended up on the final zone I needed to get to clear this character. Dorian is the next character, who is generally considered to be a pretty easy character. This is because this character spawns with a full set of items right away. A ring that deals +1 damage, an armor that has the same rating as the plate armor, a map, pickaxe, everything you need in a good run is given to you right away. The only issue is the boots. Boots cannot be removed and makes Dorian move 2 tiles instead of 1. This means that new players on this character like myself will most likely run into enemy attacks since they've only been used to moving 1 tile at a time. Despite this restriction, I was only on Dorian for about an hour and a half before I reached the final boss.
Death metal.
Penta, Rumble, Machine, Crossbones. Rumble, I always take the same type advantage.
Melody is the next story-related character who spawns in with a golden loot weapon. This weapon cannot be removed, but it is a powerful weapon that does an AoE attack when moved by enemies. Melody is a pretty easy character to clear because of this weapon. So as long as you get a good gear and some hearts, you should have no problem getting to the final boss soon, which
Are
was...
you kidding me? Combat?
Return of the Necrodancer.
The Necrodancer is
Like-
back and he wants that golden loot. The boss this time is timed, so you have to finish the boss fight and leave before the song ends by pushing him into lava. Which is what I did, but unfortunately, I ran out of time. So I worked my way back, and this time I managed to clear the Necrodancer in time to get my All Zones trophy.
Stop! Get away from me!
The next character, Monk, is one of the most difficult characters to get a clear in. This is a character that dies when stepping on gold, so it can be quite difficult
Monk
for
would
the new
then
player
only my
getting used to
opinion
this
as a
death
character.
mechanic, since killing an enemy essentially spawns in a death tile. So you have to make sure not to trap yourself while killing enemies. Monk
Boss,
also
or
has
it
low
equals
starting
death.
health, which is one of the most common reasons why I die, since a lot of the later enemies can easily one-tap me if I don't find hearts. Once I found a good set of items, I was soon able to get to the end of the run, getting to Deep Blues 4, and clearing the run, getting me the All Zones Monk trophy. The next character, Bolt, likes to go fast, as the
Yeah,
hold
Bolt,
tempo is
double
doubled,
speed.
which means your time to react to situations is now halved. This
So,
is a pretty difficult character to get used to, as I was dying
the
a
fourth
lot
area,
with this character
because
due
each
to the
area
new
goes
double
faster and
tempo.
faster.
This character also gives you a glimpse as to
So
what to
with
expect on
Bolt
one of the
having, like,
future
double
trophies in this game. I played on this
Well-
character for about 8 hours before I got to the final boss, which was...
Coral Rift.
Like this speed, hell no.
Up until now, I've been getting through each of the characters easily, as most of them didn't take more than 1 day of playing. Just when I'm about to think the game's difficulty was one big lie, the game suddenly brings in a big difficulty
Yeah.
spike. Ari is the first big challenge in the game, and
Yeah.
is the
Aria.
last story-related
Nah.
character in this game of one final story boss. Arya is a character that will die if you miss a beat, and is restricted to only using a dagger. Arya will also die if you get hit, since the character spawns in with half a heart. This character will determine
Yeah. Aria. Only dagger, die in a single hit, die on a missed beat.
if you got what it takes to make it to
Well.
the final 2 trophies, or whether you will quit early while you still can. I decided to play Arya on low percent so that I would get both the clear trophy and low percent trophy that the game has. Low percent means that you can't pick up items or use
If she's a
shrines.
hero.
So this of course means that my very first Arya clear would be more difficult than a normal clear playing a character. So I began Arya, and you will notice that Arya starts off on zone 4. This is because Arya does all the zones in reverse, so you will complete all the difficult zones first, and end on the easiest zone. If If you want to know how my first days of Aria went, this is how it went.
I mean, if you start on the highest difficulty, holy shit. But there's a character worse than Aria. Like no joke, there's a character
While I
worse than
kept
Aria.
dying on Zone 4, I came across this enemy. The green bat is a rare enemy that spawns in the game. You need to kill 3 green bats for 1 trophy. I had already killed one earlier in my journey, so this would mean that I would be on 2 out of the 3 green bats that I needed. After dying so many times on this zone, I began thinking, do I really got what it takes to obtain platinum when this isn't even the most difficult part yet? But I quickly buried those thoughts and got this run.
Deep blues.
I was finally at the boss. If I can clear this, then I would be 1 zone
The game
closer
is
to obtaining
random
the clear.
generated
So
stages.
did I clear the boss? Let's find out.
Well, with the boss fights, no hit one basically.
I had finally cleared zone 4 and was finally on zone 3, and I died almost immediately. From here, I
if you
decided
die,
to clear each of the zones individually
You start
so that I
at
can unlock
stage
them all
1.
for practice. So since it was individual zone runs, I was soon able to clear zone 3. I was now on to clearing zone 2 individually, which is an even slower
Okay.
tempo. So
I
it was
did
getting easier
play
since
it,
the zones were in reverse.
not
So
complete.
it was
I
no
started
surprise
once
that I was soon able to clear
Kaizo
zone
Mario
2,
World
and was now onto zone 1.
on the
Which was
SNES
also
Mini.
very much easier to clear.
Like
So
I
with this final zone,
loaded
I had
like the
finally
games
stumbled upon
on
the
it,
final boss
like
of
the fan
Aria,
games on the
which was
SNES Mini.
A golden loot.
Of course, I wasn't able to clear the boss on the first attempt, but now I can practice a quick kill on the golden loot, which is an overpowered strategy. Now that I had everything unlocked, I went back to the real runs and was soon able to get this run.
King Konga.
I mean, the music is not bad. Sometimes I would be annoyed. Good. And now with this.
I was now on zone 2, which means the trophy is close to being achieved. So now that the tempo is getting slower, was I able to lock in and get the
For
clear?
me,
Let's see.
in my opinion, it's easier. You start with a slow speed and then go to higher speed. But doing the reverse, in my opinion, is harder. Because once you have this fast speed on you, going slower is like kill.
Despite my death on this zone, things were looking up since I was getting more and more consistent on Aria. I was getting to zone 3 more often, which meant that I would have more chances to beat my zone 2 record. After grinding some attempts and dying a lot, I had a couple more deaths in zone 2. It was during this time, when I was doing some attempts, when this happened. I had finally gotten my final green bat, which meant that I had to no longer worry about any luck-based trophy, and now had to worry about the skill-based ones, like clearing Aria. After putting in enough hours, I was finally given this chance in zone 2.
Deep blues.
And he didn't just do the base game, he did also the DLCs.
I was now in zone 1. At this point, a clear is very likely, since the zone tempo is very slow, so you would have to be an idiot if you died on this zone. After getting killed in such a dumb way, and blundering my clear, I wasn't at all demoralized. This is because I knew that if I was able to make it to Zone 1, I was able to surely get the clear. Since I was able to make it to Zone 1, it was a lot easier to make it back there a second time. I was now given another chance at the clear. This is how the attempt went. Another dumb death was added to the account. I mean, really, how many of y'all have gotten a dumb death like this far in a run? After more deaths of not reaching Zone 1, I eventually made it back, and this happened.
A golden loot.
And
I was
one
now on the golden loot.
Exactly.
I can now perform the quick kill if the skeleton horsemen don't approach from the left and right side. So, did I get the clear? Let's find out.
Yeah.
So I was back to dying on Zone 4 again for a few more hours until I was given a chance to return to Zone 1 again.
I did.
So surely I would not get any more dumb deaths and actually get back to the golden loot, right? After getting another Zone 1 death, I decided it was time for a break in the form of a one-day break. After returning to the crypt, ready to get the clear on Arya, it only took a few hours before this happened.
A golden loot.
Hit einfach Bohr. Hit lieber Bohr. Okay. Da, diese Aria clear.
I finally got the Aria clear, and I also played it on low percent, which means that I also got the second trophy for it. I was so locked into clearing Aria that I didn't notice that I had spent 83 hours on the character before I got the clear. This is just scratching the surface level of the main difficulty in the game,
Really be like,
as there are still way more big challenges ahead. My next big trophy was now polyamorous. But before we start that trophy, we need to clear some easy trophies that I didn't go for, since I was focused on the all zones trophies. The first one is Toucan Tango for completing all zones while playing co-op. So I connected a second controller via remote play and got to the end of the run for my next trophy.
wie double that. Yeah, this not that hard.
The next trophy is for getting killed by a green slime. I used to C to get this trophy, and to get killed by a green slime, you need to be on Dove and confuse the slime using a flower weapon, then use the fear scroll. This will cause the slime to attack, getting me my trophy. Eight Ball requires me to kill 8 enemies with a single bomb. I used to seed for this and was soon able to get the trophy. The next thing I did was to get a red dragon to kill another mini-boss. I found a hidden room which spawns a mini-boss, and was able to line up the red dragon for this trophy.
It would be so annoying for me.
The next thing I needed to do was to get 6,000 coins in a single run. The method I used to get this trophy was to kill the shopkeeper, which drops an item that increases gold. Then all I did was to kill as many enemies as I can, and not spend any of the gold I collected, and I was soon able to reach the 6,000 gold amount. Carpe Diem is a trophy for completing the daily challenge, which is just a regular all zones cadence run. With this in mind, the trophy was pretty simple, as I was already skilled enough to beat Arya, so a regular cadence run would be way easier. So on my very first attempt, I was able to make it to the end, getting me my next trophy.
All along,
This concludes my very first month on the crypt,
I think this
and I was able to
December.
play for a total of 124 hours in the month of December, with many more months to go. This next trophy is a speedrun trophy involving cadence. For this trophy, you need to clear cadence in under 15 minutes, and in order to not waste any time, I made sure to go to the exit as soon as I can. After some trial and error, I was on a good pace when I arrived to the final boss.
The Necro Dancer.
I now go on to the next trophy, which is Undeadly. Now this trophy may look difficult, since you have to get 10 wins in a row on Deathless, but if you do this trophy at the right time, it should be easy. Since I'm
Think
doing
about
this
it.
trophy after Aria,
Think about it. 10 ones without dying.
the only difficult thing about this trophy is getting through the long run, which can take up to 5 hours. To start my very first attempt, and my strategy for going into this is to get a ranged weapon, and find some way to heal myself. I got through the first 2 wins pretty easily, and was about to go for my third, when this happened. My game crashed for the very first time on this game. This was demoralizing, but thankfully I wasn't far into the run, so I started up my very next attempt. It was going a lot better, and I was able to fly through these clears until I eventually reached 9 wins, and was only 1 win away from getting the trophy. The last run I needed to clear was pretty
What are you
easy, so I was able to
thinking?
get a potion.
Like,
Max my
I
health.
took like a
It was finally
loan for
time to
my
fight the Necrodancer one
projector.
last time, and I was able to defeat him to get the Undeadly trophy. Now that I'm only 3 trophies away from the platinum in the base game, you probably think I'm close.
Like, I was thinking about finishing my loan that I took. Maybe next month. Like, full. Maybe even 2. Like, normally the loan would take, still like months. But I'm thinking about like paying it off earlier. I'm thinking if I calculate right, maybe next month or the month after that, the loan is paid off completely. So
See obtaining this platinum, right? Well, if you doubt that, then you would be wrong, because it's not even close. If I were to compare the hours I currently have to my final playtime of the game, you would find out that I'm only 14% of the way there. So I haven't
look at this. 14%, 130 hours.
even gotten to the main difficulty of the game's platinum. Although the next trophy I earn will introduce
This is crazy. This one is crazy. Polyamorous.
me to one of the main reasons why this game takes so long. Polyamorous is the next big trophy that I needed to do after Aria. This trophy involves clearing all the characters in a row without dying. In order to prepare for this trophy, I decided to individually practice each of the characters in January, and by the end of the month, I only needed to practice Aria. I ended the month playing 45 hours on January, which was a lot less than the first
All
month.
8 characters
Starting
without dying.
February, I started practicing Aria, which was the most difficult
Then you have the
character to get
character that dies like
consistent
in one hit.
at this stage of the game.
And
After I
with
managed to
speed.
get 3 clears in Aria in a short amount of time, I figured it was finally time to start the real attempts. The main difficulty in getting this trophy is clearing the big 4, which is the 4 most difficult characters in the game, which is Bolt, Monk, Arya, and Dave. After you clear these 4 characters, the chances of you getting the clear skyrocket, as the last 5 characters are way easier in comparison.
But
Getting a good boss order also raises your chances of getting a clear, since getting the more tricky bosses first will allow you to more easily take care of the easier bosses in the later zones. My very first attempt started off pretty well. I managed to clear Dove and started on Monk. Some things you need to keep in mind at all times is not picking up gold on Monk. Another related thing is to keep track of what damage value you are currently at. Early in the run, I managed to get a dagger that raises my damage, which means my damage value is now at 2. I went on to kill this Minotaur, then just like that, the run was over, and I had to restart from the very beginning. The very next attempt was way better since I was able to clear Dove and also managed to clear Monk as well. This meant that I was now on the third character, which was Bolt. Getting to the third character on the very first day of attempts meant that the practice I did was paying off. It also meant that the trophy was close to being attained. After clearing the first zone with Bolt, I was on the second zone with some good items. Although I was no match for the fast tempo I needed to keep up with. I was down to half a heart, so I decided to switch to the glass armor since it can tank one hit. So, did I manage to find some healing items and get out of zone 2? Let's find out. It was back to the start for me, and I got a few more deaths before I made it back to the third character again. This time, it was Monk, since I decided to clear Bolt earlier. With Monk, I was able to easily make it to the first boss, which was Death Metal, so I decided to take it easy, making sure not to step on some gold. But then, I was confused at first, since I didn't realize how I stepped on gold. But then I saw that that gold was being hidden by the torch. Unfortunately, it was downhill from there, as I was not able to make it back to the third character for the rest of the first stream. It took a few days of dying on various characters, and finally, this happened.
Aber as soon as done. Moment.
I was on the final character left in the big 4, which was Bolt, which meant that clearing this character would mean the chances of me getting this trophy would be very high. So going into this last character, I was very careful, making sure to pick up some useful items along the way. By zone 3, I had some pretty good items, and I also found some more hearts in this zone. Going into zone 4,
I mean,
I found
if
a
you
post.
play within games,
This means I would be pretty safe for the rest of the zone.
it is
So I
easier
reached
for
the
you.
final boss, which was...
I haven't checked his account. I mean, if he plays rhythm games, I would understand. If he doesn't, I don't.
I had finally cleared the big 4, and all that was left to clear is the remaining characters, starting with Cadence. I started the run and managed to get to the final boss with a good loadout. So with this loadout, I managed to clear both the bosses and advance to the next character, Melody. Melody was also an easy character to play through and prepare for the final boss, which is...
Return of the Necro Dancer!
got through the Necrodancer, and after that character, I only had 3 more characters. At this point,
Boah,
I'm so close to the trophy, I can taste it. I move on to Eli,
I'm really bad with Souls
which
like
was so
games.
easy,
I'm
it
really
didn't cause
bad.
any worry.
The only Souls like I did
2
PLAT
characters left,
is Demon
and
Souls
now I'm on
on the
Dorian,
PS5.
which is tricky to play
I mean, I still need to do Demon Souls on the PS3. I have it,
with its
digital,
movement, but if I find a good long-range weapon, I
but
should be able to manage.
I have time.
I end up finding a long-range weapon and find my way over to Zone 3.
Okay. First.
That was scary for a moment, but I got through. I then was on the second level of Zone 3 and made my way to the final level before the boss.
I couldn't do this, like, alone. I think I will.
Devastating
He died
loss,
now,
right before
so
the
we need to
finish
do like
line.
all characters
3
again.
hours gone, down the drain, in the blink of an eye. It was pretty demoralizing. It was late at night, so getting the trophy would have to wait for the very next day. The next day rolled around, and I was trying to get another good run going. I was almost 2 hours into attempts when this happened. I had beat the big 4 again, which meant this time I can fix the mistake I made last time. So to make sure I don't die on Dorian again, I made sure to clear him right after clearing the big 4. So I started playing Dorian and was easily able to clear his character. All I had now was 4 more characters, so I then went on to easily clear Melody and Cadence. I was now on the second to last character, which is where I died last time. So with Eli, I managed to make it all the way to the final boss I had for that character, which was I now only had 1 more character left before I get this trophy. I started Bard and immediately found a potion, which was very good. All I needed now was hearts, and this run is as good as over. I made it to Zone 2 and found a food shop. With it, I got stacked up on hearts, and with that, I knew in my mind that the run was over, and the trophy would soon be mine. I still had to get through the remaining zones.
I mean,
So
he
I went
also
to
did
clear
all
Zone
the
3,
DLCs, so
and
he
then made it to the
100%ed
very
it.
end of Zone 4,
Not just
where I had
platinum,
1 more boss
he
I needed to take
100%ed
care of before I
cooked.
got the trophy.
Which is like, in my opinion, even more crazier. In my opinion, at least. Like, platinum, yes, but 100%? You know what we need to do for 100%? Holy shit.
I did it! Oh my goodness. I actually did it. I finally got the polyamorous trophy, and was glad the runs were finally over.
Physical
All in all, I'd say a lot of you got what it takes
challenges.
to make it to this exact point if you have beat some difficult
Okay.
games before, because it only took me 192 hours to get to this position, and polyamorous only took me around 20 hours of attempts. Although I did get polyamorous, the victory is short-lived, because people who clear polyamorous know exactly what comes next.
New character
Yeah.
unlocked.
It was
Oh, wait 1 second. Before I forget. Not a different game right now, 1 second. on. There we go. I need to get a daily lock-in reward. So there we go. Go back out. Yeah, there we go. Before we forget. For a trophy. I only need. I still need a few. That's fine. So.
Now time to go for one of the reasons why this game takes a long time. But before we start the Platinum Killer trophies, I had to finish something I haven't started yet. The Amplified DLC has a total of 13 trophies, and there's one trophy that makes completing this DLC difficult, which is very polyamorous. Before we get to completing that trophy, we need to do all the rest first. This DLC adds a brand new zone, which of course means there's a zone clear trophy. I played the new zone on Cadence, and got used to all the new enemies in this zone. This zone also brings in a new boss, which is...
because the daily reset happens soon. And in the daily reset,
is a mole
I
boss
can only get like 2 of those little flowers a day.
So I got him to come down the stage by harming the skeleton
I didn't collect today,
in front of the stage and attacking him the same way you would do an actual mole. After the boss was defeated, I got my very first DLC trophy. I then started a new story character, Nocturna, which has a special ability to turn into a bat. While I was playing Nocturna, I got my very next trophy for killing 8 enemies at once with electricity. You will also notice that while playing Nocturna, parts of Zone 5 will bleed on over to the earlier zones, which is something you have to look out for. Nocturna is a relatively simple character to survive on, since she spawns in with a long-range weapon, so with the knowledge I now have on the game, I was able to soon make it to the very end, which of course means I'll have to fight some new story bosses, the very first one being... This boss is very tricky since you need to dodge a lot of attacks while also trying to damage the boss, which will eventually start dashing across the room at you. Since I had a lot of hearts, I was able to narrowly survive the boss and move on to the very last boss, which is... This boss is also very difficult the first time playing it, so it was no surprise that I eventually ended up dying. Although I did die, I was able to make it back right away in the next run. This time I did way better, getting to the final stage of the fight, where you need to kill enemies while in the electric lines, which was pure chaos with all the enemies. But luckily, I was able to avoid dying a second time and get the final electric line taken out to clear the boss, getting me my next trophy. I then did the trophy for getting 8,000 coins in a single run with Nocturna. I did the same strategy I did when I did the 6,000 coin trophy, so I ended up getting it very quickly. The next trophy I went to work on is called Mode Master, and you need to complete every new mode in the Amplified DLC. Each of the modes also have an individual trophy for clearing it too, and the first one I went for is called Hard Mode, which adds a lot more enemies to the zones, and also mini-bosses to the boss rooms. It took a bit of work getting used to the increase of enemies, but once I got used to it, I was able to soon clear the final boss to get me this trophy.
Hard mode.
The next mode is Phasing Mode, which allows you to go through walls. So this mode is pretty easy since you can just go into walls to avoid enemies. So it didn't take long before I got the clear and trophy alongside it. The following mode is Mystery Mode, which hides all the enemies. So you have to rely on your game knowledge to know what enemy is approaching you. Since I already have some good game knowledge, I was soon able to get to the final boss and clear the mode for my next trophy.
It's like the
The
trophy
next
in
mode is
Resident Evil with
randomizer
the
mode.
invisible
This mode
enemies, in my
randomizes
opinion.
all the enemies' values, so you can get unlucky and get an enemy with a bunch of health, or some fast enemies. This trophy was a bit of work, but it didn't take long for me to reach the final boss and get the trophy. No return mode is the next trophy, and with this one, I have to clear it on cadence. In this mode, you can't move back. If you do, you take damage. This took a bit of practice to get used to since you have to move back a lot in this game. I played on this mode for a few hours before I made it to the final boss, the Necrodancer. This fight was pretty close. I was on low hearts, so if I made any more mistakes, I would have to restart the run. Thankfully, I was able to beat the Necrodancer and obtain my next trophy. I then started working on the speedrun trophy involving Nocturna, which has you beat a run in under 15 minutes. This was difficult since you have to be on a good pace by the end, since you have to fight 2 bosses. This trophy took some trial and error since I was dying a lot trying to go
No,
fast.
the speedrun
After
thing
several
is kinda, in
hours
my
of
opinion,
attempting to
hard.
get this trophy,
Because there's
I was on a good
one
pace
more
when
zone
I
to
arrived
clear.
at the final bosses. I was in good standing going into the Frankenstein Way fight. I was able to finish this fight off and still have a full set of hearts left. I was now on the final boss, and I took some damage, which was a bit worrying, but I was able to clear the boss and get the trophy in time. I now was working on the story mode trophy, which was the final trophy I needed to get to obtain the Mode Master trophy. This mode has you beat all the story mode characters in a row, so it's kinda like the polyamorous trophy, but with easy characters. I made sure to get some training done with Aria, with the new zone, and then started the story mode, which has you complete Nocturna, Cadence, Melody, then Aria last. Since you can't choose the order, it is highly likely that you will die on the last character, since it is Aria. I was able to breeze past the first 3 characters no problem. Now, I only need to worry about Aria. Since I was the least familiar with Zone 5, I wanted to get out of Zone 5 as soon as I can. Luckily, I was able to make it to the boss, which was... I decided to bomb King Konga, but unfortunately, I got hit by this enemy, then died by King Konga. So there goes one whole hour down the drain, since I had to restart from the beginning. I made my way back to Aria and was able to make it past Zone 5 this time. Since I was now past Zone 5, it was now like a normal Aria run, so it was smooth sailing from there. I even lost my potion into the run, but got it back later. So since I was safe with another potion, I was pretty confident in the clear. So I eventually made it to the final boss, which of course is...
Okay, Spider-Man. Let's try this.
I now had one very last trophy in the DLC, and that trophy is very polyamorous, which is the main difficulty in this DLC. To prepare for this trophy, I decided to play the 2 tricky characters I haven't played yet, which is Tempo and Mary. I played on each...
Yeah, but Tempo is...
I now had one very last trophy in the DLC, and that trophy is very polyamorous, which is the main difficulty in this DLC. To prepare for this trophy, I decided to play the 2 tricky characters I haven't played yet, which is Tempo.
Yeah. Tempo mode, 1-hit kills. If the enemies to survive. So if it was he has a timer. He like 15 steps or so he needs to kill. But he does 1 hit. And
Mary.
Mary is
Play
like...
the 2 tricky characters I haven't played yet, which is Tempo and Mary.
If the sheep dies, you lose.
I played on each of them for about 3 to 4 hours, making sure to get at least one clear on each of them before I decided to start the attempts at this trophy. When I felt like I was ready, I decided to start a stream late at night to see how far I would go on the very first stream attempting this. I decided to place Tempo and Mary in the first of the list since they are new characters that are difficult to clear. The first character I started was Tempo, which requires you to kill an enemy every 17 beats or you die. A lot more enemies spawn with this character, and you can instantly kill every enemy, so you just have to avoid attacks and get to the exit, since going to nearby shops risks you not finding a nearby enemy. The training definitely paid off since I was able to clear Tempo on the very first attempt. I was now on Mary, which has a lamb you need to protect. If this lamb dies, you will too. I made my way to Zone 2 with Mary when I was suddenly cornered by enemies.
I'm thinking right now, but
After this death, I put Mary in first and tried getting a clear. I got a few deaths on Mary before I eventually was able to manage a clear. So now I had to do Tempo again, but thankfully I was able to clear it also. I now had the big 4 to worry about, and I wanted to get Arya out of the way first. So I started Arya, and not even 20 seconds into the run, this happened.
Like, you need to do the base game characters also.
I lost my potion, so I had to lock in for the rest of the run. I was able to eventually find another potion, so it was a lot less stressful knowing I can make another mistake. I made my way to the final boss and was able to clear it to move on to the next character. I then was able to clear Monk, Dove, and Bolt. This was my chance to get this trophy on the very first stream attempting this trophy. I now was on Melody, which was an easy character to make it to the final boss, in which I cleared with plenty of hearts. I now was on the last warring character, Nocturna, which has some pretty tricky final bosses. But luckily, I was able to make it to the final boss with a potion, so with that extra health and
it's like some tower defense games.
I
Like,
was able to clear the conductor boss
Pokemon
and
tower
clear
defense, for example.
the character. It was now smooth sailing from here, as the rest of the characters are easy to get a clear on if I'm careful. I then started slowly clearing each of the remaining characters
What's the other one?
with plenty of
Bloons,
health,
obviously.
with each clear getting me closer and
There was
closer to
one
Bard.
more.
It was almost 5 hours into the run when this happened.
But Bloons is like, I played back in the like Pokemon tower defense, and like a lot.
I now only needed
But I
Bard
also
left,
played back in
so
the
it
a
would
lot
be a shame
was
if I
the
died
Grow
on the very
games.
last character. My plan with Bard was to get hearts immediately, so that I would be safe. I started getting myself some items that would help me along, and I slowly made my way through each of the zones, making sure to get any
Bloons
useful
games
items
were
that I
a lot
may
of fun.
find.
That's to
It
know.
was eventually time for the final zone,
Oh,
and going
physical
into this
effect,
zone, I had a
that's
pretty
shit.
solid loadout,
Like what?
so I was pretty confident in the win. After making my way through the Zone 5 enemies and mini-bosses in this new zone, it was eventually time for the last boss, which was...
I don't know if you can, but let me check something, 1 second. If you can still play this game, 1 second. Come on, tower defense. Okay, understand. Okay. If I do this, like, it still works for a second. I don't know if this works. 1 second. Open. Just want to show it. Okay, it doesn't know my password. Seems like it. Unless. So. There we go. This is like a tower defense that I played a lot back in the day. So, there we go. There was like also trading and everything, you know. And you need to keep the Like you can set up your team, and then you need to save the more candies, basically. And wait once if you catch. We can, if they get leveled, we can level them up again. And it continues like over and over and over again. Also, like not like this. The pitching is different. Remember, this is an ultimate defense game. And the joke. Catch Pokémons and so on, level them up. Save the rare candies. Got the boss defeated. Like, this is a game, man. What game? Pokémon has 2 levels. This one's amazing. That's so So, then you also have like you can also get like challenges for special stuff. Don't know if this it does work. Okay. You can also get missing no. There we go. Doesn't work anymore. Now we have missing no as well. With like obviously strong attacks. We take Charmander and Pidgey. Oh, look at this, we don't have let's take a story as I guess leveling up missing no is the key. I don't know its stats right now, it's my problem. Suppose like Pokemon also have okay, Pikachu with us, Rattata with us. Yep. Like literally coincidentally repeat. This war but missing no like healers. missing no cost. You can maybe try. I just wanna get the to use Gratz. You know, the game is right Yeah, 1 second. Let's try the gym. Water gun. So, let's just try It's a tower defense game, basically. I said, it's a really nice game. I like it a lot. There we go. Oh. There we go.
Let's go. Alright, well, I did it. First string too, but it got cut off near the end. I now had the DLC cleared and wasn't even done with February yet, since I still had one whole week left in the month. I decided to take a 1 week break after I beat the DLC to prepare for what remains in the game. So I ended the month of
Oh,
February
so that's,
playing a total of 69 hours, and now have a total of 238 hours played in the game. With only 2 trophies left before the platinum, that can only mean one thing. I'm finally at the platinum killer trophies in this game. Decided to first go for the impossible right trophy, as that is the easiest out of the 2 trophies. To get this trophy, we need to clear Coda.
Hold on.
Simple, right? Wrong. Coda is a character that is a mix of Monk, Arya, and Bolt, all into one character. Which means that Coda is in double tempo, can't miss any beats, and can't pick up any gold. So how did the first few days of Coda go? Let's find out. So we start the character and we're dead already. No worries, let's try it again. Yeah, so the first few days of Coda went just like this, where I kept dying very early on in the run. So after a few days of dying like this, I decided I needed to learn another way to learn the double tempo. I decided to learn the double tempo with Bolt so that I would be used to the double tempo rhythm and eventually get good enough to eventually return back to Coda. So I played through Bolt and got more accustomed to playing the double tempo. It was during this time, playing Bolt, when something would release that would temporarily stop my double tempo training. A new DLC called Synchrony finally gets added to the console version. With this new DLC, there is now multiplayer, so you can now play Cryptid the Necrodancer with all your friends that are also in the crypt. It also adds 9 trophies, so I had to get those before I go back to learning the double tempo. Start by playing the new character Suzu. Suzu is a character that dashes when you kill an enemy, so it can be quite a fun character to play since you can kill a lot of enemies in a single dash. At this point in the game, the new characters didn't offer too much of a challenge compared to what I was currently doing, so I was soon able to clear Suzu, getting me my next trophy. The next character I played was Chaunter. This character can transform into an enemy that you kill, so you can play as all your favorite enemies that have killed you in this game. After I did a bit of practice, I was able to get to the final boss. The next trophy I did was for clearing Arya with no beat mode. This mode essentially turns the character into Bard, so I was soon able to get to the end of the run. The next trophy has you completing Zone 1 Bolt in double tempo mode. Since Bolt is already in double tempo, this will again double Bolt's tempo. This may seem difficult, but the game has an assist feature for this mode. The assist feature allows you to maintain the tempo as long as you hold down the move button. So with that, I was soon able to clear Zone 1. The next new character I played was Clarinetta. This character spawns in with a unique sword that you have to swing to kill enemies. This character was pretty easy since I was soon able to get to the final boss. For the next trophy, you have to get captured by a pawn while trying to leap past its attack. Dorian is the best character for this trophy, so I started the character and got to Deep Blues to get me my next trophy.
Okay. I would say we're gonna end the stream for now. Yeah. But tomorrow we can start an early stream. Because tomorrow is... I messed up. Tomorrow is my day off. So we can start early, and we're gonna play Fantasy Life, definitely. Yeah, we have this. Let's collect this first. 1 second.
The following trophy has you complete the Assemble mode, which has you complete each of the levels with a different character. So the easiest way to get this trophy would be to put all the easy characters on the difficult levels. Which is what I did, and I was soon able to get to the end of the run, to the final boss. Next trophy has you sell your items to a pawnbroker. For this, you need a full set of items. So I played on the easiest character and got the items needed to sell to the pawnbroker for my next trophy. The last trophy is a speedrun trophy involving Suzu. You have to finish an all zones run in under 10 minutes without DLC, and under 12 minutes with DLC if you have it on. So to get this trophy, you have to go to the exits right away so you don't waste any time with some practice. I was on a good pace when I arrived at the final boss.
How many checks? Okay.
I had finally finished the DLC, and it was definitely a lot easier than the Amplify DLC, since there's no all characters DLC trophy. With this DLC,
Then with this, guys, I wish you all a good night, and until tomorrow. I said we're gonna play Fantasy Life. Maybe we got closer to the platinum then. So